Sit rep. Today is finally test server update day for 22.1 update. We're going to quickly review the patch notes, which actually has, it's a lot more than what I really thought. I thought it was going to be a filler patch. They actually did a lot of really good quality of life changes that you are going to be excited to hear about. So let's go ahead and jump in. Okay, so patch note 22.1, which is out today on test server for PC. It'll be out next week on console, the 14th, and then on, I'm sorry, not console, on PC live server on the 14th, then on console on the 22nd. That's when you can expect the updates to go live. Now, for all of the regions that have map selection, you're going to be able to choose between Erangel, Miramar, Tago, Sanhok, and Karakin. You have a featured map of Vikendi. For my region and for most of our regions who have random map selection, no more featured map, no more 40% Vikendi. Instead, every map has 20% on it. So 20% Erangel, Miramar, Destin is finally back, thank goodness. Karakin, and Vikendi, which includes the daytime Vikendi and the new night mode Vikendi. It's a weather setting, just like how you can get multiple weather settings on Erangel, Miramar, etc. It's the same thing now in Vikendi, okay? So it's not its own, Vikendi night mode map. It's just a weather setting. So first thing is first, the elephant or bear in the room, I should say, is the new creature, aka the polar bear that they've added. And it's actually not really a polar bear. It's like a brown bear, but it's white. Like if you ever go look up a grizzly, it's a grizzly bear, but they just painted it white instead of using a polar bear. I don't know why, but it's so cool. It's really interesting seeing these guys walk around and run around in the map. And I'll give you some more details in a second. And if you're watching this video live, I'll show you some gameplay tonight. If you're watching this video tomorrow on YouTube, I'll have overlaid some gameplay of actually interacting with the bears. So they're actually found on all of the cave locations, which lucky for you, I spent a lot of time and went over and highlighted all of those locations. I have them outlined in a downloadable PDF, or not PDF, but a downloadable image that you can get if you come to my Discord. You go down to the PUBG guide section, and here is a big 4K image. You can actually open this up and download it to your computer. And this has all of the locations of all the caves, as you can see here. So you can save this to your phone, to your computer, whatever. All the caves, all the crowbar rooms. Actually, I need to add like 1 or 2 crowbar rooms over here, but I'll get it updated. Crowbar rooms, security key card rooms, all that kind of stuff. All the big satellite loot rooms on the ice plane, the train locations, cable car locations. Essentially everything you need to know about Vikendi is all a nice little downloadable map for you, okay? Little legend on your left. And then, of course, creator code CDome to support your boy for free at no extra cost you buy anything in the store. All right, so all of the bears spawn in those caves, and the interesting part is that they don't have to spawn inside of the cave. I actually have found them roaming around some of the caves, and usually there's 2 or 3 bears per cave, depending on how big the cave is. I might be asking, what the hell's the point of even going to those locations then? Well, PUBG has actually added high tier loot in these bear cave areas. So if you kill the bears, because you have to kill them to get to the loot, they have little red loot boxes you can walk up to and open them up. And there's all kinds of gear in there. There's like a bear suit, a polar bear suit you can put on for fun. There's actual loot. There's scopes, thermal scopes, 8Xs, 6Xs, medical items, and there's the chance for level 3 gear to spawn, like helmet, vest, and level 3 weapons. So it is another one of those kind of critical places to go and look if you're nearby one. But unfortunately, not unfortunately, but unlike the ice observatory that you can land on immediately and just go get loot, this you definitely cannot. You have to kill the bears first because they will attack you. It's 2 swipes from the bear and you're knocked, and then 2 more swipes and they flush you. To kill the bear, it used about 35 to 40 bullets out of the barrel to kill it, and then about 35 bullets of the SKS. So it seems to be a pretty good trend, about 35 or so bullets. I tried to kill it with a crossbow, and it took like 40 crossbows to kill it. A couple of Panzer RPGs will kill it, but not just one. And it seems to be immune to throwable explosives like C4, frag grenades, Molotov, and Blue Zone grenade. I tried all of those on it and nothing killed it. So I'm not sure if that's a bug or if that's like an intended thing where you have to use weapons to kill it. So just be weary of that. The bears do go into this like berserker mode once you do enough damage to it, where they run really, really fast. Like you cannot outrun it when it's doing this berserker mode. So just know that. And also, if you get on top of like a high ground, like on top of your car or a rock, it's really hard for them to get you sometimes, okay? All right, so that's it for the bears. Obviously, night mode Vikendi has now officially returned. They're calling it the Moonlight mode. So again, it's just a weather setting. It's available in custom games for tournaments or just random custom games, and it's on live server match rotations. The new thermal scope is now back into the game permanently. This is no longer just a tested PUBG Labs mode. and it has the zoom magnification of a 4x, so it'll do the exact same distance as a 4x. But a couple of cool things with this, and I'll do another video in more detail, is the thermal scope. Of course, it gives you a big advantage because your heat signature is bright white in your scope, so it's super easy to immediately identify an enemy. However, once you get about 100 meters away and further out, your enemy starts to get very pixelated, and you can kind of tell on the image they put here, but when I do another video, you'll really be able to tell the difference. If you have a normal 4x, you can clearly see the enemy's outline. You can find exactly where their head is, where the neck stops, where the shoulder starts, all that kind of stuff. With the thermal scope, it's all kind of like a blob of white. So close range, like 50 meters, easy peasy, you're good to go. 100 meters, it's a little more difficult. 150, 200 meters, you can see you're shooting at a target, but you have honestly no idea where you're actually shooting him or where the bullet is landing. So that is a natural nerf to the scope. Another thing to remember is that it can see straight through bushes, and this is the most important thing, through smoke grenades and the Blizzard Snowtornado. So if you have a thermal scope, you can pop this on like your SMG or your assault rifle as a spray scope, and a cheeky thing is to put a smoke grenade on yourself or smoke out your enemy, and obviously they cannot see you, and you can clear as day see them with the thermal scope. So that's a big brain IQ play you'll want to keep in mind if you find one of the thermal scopes, because they are a world spawn. They'll probably also be in the loot crates, but they are for sure world spawn, available custom games and normal matches. Okay, speaking of smokes and whatnot, in the Blizzard zone, aka Snowtornado, smoke grenades and Molotovs now do not work. If you throw a smoke grenade inside of the Snowtornado, it actually gets blown away. The smoke gets blown away like the tornado's, whipping up. Same thing for Molotov. It'll put out the flame of your Molotov, so you can't use those two throwables inside of the Blizzard zone, aka Snowtornado. So I thought that was a kind of a fun, cool little change. And it says people who are caught on fire will not receive damage within the Blizzard zone. However, you will still receive initial damage when your body is hit with the Molotov. So if you get hit with the Molotov, you take that initial Molotov burn damage, but you don't continue to burn to death like you normally do if you're inside the zone. It doesn't say it stops the blue zone though, the blue zone grenade. So it looks like that'll probably still work. Now this is an odd one. They've increased foldable shields by 172%. So the deployable foldable shield that doesn't work on any kind of like angled slant situation has been increased by 172%. That one caught me off guard. I'm honestly not sure exactly why they did that. Item spawn spots have increased in train, villa, and winery to further richen looting experience in various parts of Vikendi. So they added more weapon spots where things can spawn, not just weapons, where things can spawn. So hopefully that means more weapons when you hot drop at train station, villa, castle, winery, etc. Karakin specifically adjusted footsteps and weapon sounds of the surfaces underground so that they sound more distinct from each other. This, I need to test it today. Hopefully we can get a match on it. This was a big problem previously because it was very hard to tell if somebody was underground 30 feet below you or if they were right on top of you with the audio difference. So hopefully that's been corrected. Some gameplay challenge changes. This one is a pretty big one here. Mk12, the Mk12 556 DMR, got a pretty significant nerf here, and they said it's to bring it in line with other DMRs, but it's kind of ironic because really the Mini 14 is kind of everyone's go-to. I've always said the Mk12 is the better one to go with, but now that might not be the case. Damage has been reduced to 50, down from 51. Initial bullet speed from 930 to 900 meters per second, so it's going to travel slower to your target. You have to lead a little bit more. Recoil recovery has been reduced by 6%. So how fast it goes up and then back down to its starting position has been slowed down. So that actually take longer now. And the recoil speed has been increased by approximately 2%. So how much recoil it's going to have when it bounces has been increased as well. So it'll be harder to control. Bullets will travel a little bit slower, and it does slightly less damage per bullet. They've adjusted spawn rates of 5.6 and 7.62 weapons to have them share similar spawn rates. So that way you're not only finding a bunch of AKs or a bunch of M4s. Hopefully you'll be able to find a nice mix of 5.5 and 7.62 weapons. Vehicle adjustments is a big one. Zimas have been sized up slightly. This may not seem like a big deal, but the vehicle itself is going to be a little bit larger in the game, which usually will mean it's an easier to hit target, and you as well will probably be an easier to hit target inside of it if the windows are also bigger. Windows, windshields, that kind of thing. Vehicle models with open roof, UAZ, Murado, pickup truck have been removed. They're gone. They're no longer in the game. They're only keeping the vehicle models that have top. So the UAZ with a hard top, that's in. The Murado with the soft top already put up on the vehicle, that's in. The pickup truck that has the big hard top in the back, that's in. All the other vehicles that have the open tops are gone. I don't know if this applies to the Roni, the Roni on Sandhawk. I hope it doesn't. That's one of my favorite little trucks in that map. The Dacia and the UAZ will now spawn on Tego. That's a first, so that's really good. And trunks have also been added to pickup trucks and the UAZ. So now you have shareable trunk space for trucks, UAZ, Zimas, and what else? There's another vehicle, the police car on Destin. I think the ice cream truck has one too. So they're slowly adding trunk space to all the vehicles. It's really good. They have a feature where you can hide helmet, hide vest, hide belt if you just want to see your players clothing and stuff. That's just a little visual thing. Of course, rank season 22 will start when this thing goes live. So have new rank rewards, blah, 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 new emblems, parachute, etc. That's the season 21 rank parachute, which will end when this thing goes live. That's the rank 22 parachute. Custom match, they added intense battle royale mode, that limited labs mode. They added it to a custom map selection, which I think is really good. They made some performance improvements, nothing really crazy. It should be for lower end systems, really. Just kind of improve your overall system performance. A lot of bug fixes. We're not going to go through all those there. You guys can read them in the patch notes if you want. And then some clipping issues where your clothing clips with weapons and that kind of stuff. So again, feel free to read the patch notes specifically for those things. I'll put a link to the patch notes in the description of the video down below. Now I turn it over to you guys. What do y'all think? What do we think about the patch? The only bear I need in my life is CDome. Rawr. Do bears respawn? No. That's it for the patch note. Don't forget to go and watch my other video about all the secret locations on Vikendi, and grab that map on your phone or your PC so you can have it up when you're playing Vikendi and you know where to go, where all the different loot stuff is at.